Welcome all. In this video, we are going to learn function in Python programming. How function can be implemented in Python programming. So this is the first video where I am going to explain you about function. So in this video, we are going to watch at first the definition of the function. A function is a group of related statements that perform a specific task. A function is a group of statements which we need to execute all together at a time to get a particular result. It helps to break our big program into smaller and modular chunks. Means a big program can be divided into small modules or smaller parts. That is what the duty of function is. So function help us to divide a big program into modular chunks, means modular parts, smaller groups. As our program grow larger and larger, function make it more organized and manageable. Also, it provides repetition and make the code reusable. It means once a list of or a related statements we wrote inside a function, we can use it, we can execute it as much as number of time when we need it, staying in a program as well as staying in another program. So that's why it is written the function can be reusable, can be used again and again whenever it is required. Only by calling the function we can execute it. Also, it avoids repetition and make the code reusable, as I told. So function provides better modularity for our application and high degree of code reusing. So function is nothing but a collection of statements can be kept together as a module in a program. So there are two types of function, inbuilt function and user-defined function. Inbuilt functions are the function which is already given by the Python programming. For example, print is a function, bin to get binary number, that is also is a function. Type also we learn to know the data type of a particular variable, particular object. Type function can be used. So these three functions, and like this there are so many other functions are inbuilt functions which already given by the Python. Other than this inbuilt function, we can go with user-defined function as well. So actually making the motto of this video is to teach you user-defined functions, how user-defined function can be written in Python, as well as how we can execute them, how we can run them. So let's check the syntax of the function. Function syntax start with a keyword def. Before starting a function, we have to write the word def, then the name of the function, then if required parameters also we can write. Then there has to be a colon. Then docstring is written. Docstring is what? Now if you wish to give the explanation of your function, explanation of what for you made this function, you can write here. So that is document string. It has to be written within triple quote. Then as much as number of time you want to give statements, you can give. So all these 4 lines or line number 1 till n are nothing but the body of the function. If this function get called, then all these 4 statements or all these n number of statements will get executed. So for writing these statements, we have to give a simple tab. So proper indentation has to be there before specifying the statements. So let's see the explanation. Keyword def that marks the start of the function header. So this particular line, the first line of the function declaration, is nothing but the function header. It is known as function header. A function name is uniquely identify the function. Function name also we need to specify in the function header. Third, parameter or argument through which we pass value to a function, they are optional. As I told, if we require, if our program demands, then we can specify the parameter. Otherwise, if you leave it blank also, it is okay. Then a colon sign to be there in the function header. So these four line number 1 till 4. So all these are nothing but the first line that defines the function header. Fine. There has to be a colon sign at the end of the function header. Fourth, optional document string. This is also a optional line. If you wish to give, you can give this doc string, means some message you can provide here, which will be the explanation of this function, of the statements, of the work of this function, the purpose of this function. Then sixth number point, one or more valid Python statements that can be made within the function body. So as I told all this before, so these are nothing but the statements which will get executed when we call a function. So there has to be proper indentation label, means all these statements has to be kept within same label, so it will be known as a part of this function. Okay. So for 7 number point, an optional return statement. There has to be a return statement here. If it is required, then we can write. That is optional. That is totally optional. If you won't write also, it is okay. Which practically I will explain little later. So let's go with the next, calling function. So function can be called. Fine. The definition we saw. Now how can we execute the function? Once we define a function, we can execute that function as much as a number of time we need, staying in a program or staying outside the function, outside the program. So defining a function only gives its name, specifies the parameters that are to be included in the function, and structure of the blocks of code. So calling a function is nothing but just you have to give the function name, and if you wish you can give arguments or you don't give also. There are two ways I wrote. Either this way or this way we can do. The difference is what? In this case, when I'm calling the function, I'm providing some input, and in this case, I'm not providing any input. Fine. Now let's go next. In this case, I gave a simple example that how a simple function can be written or can be used. So in this program, the program has two functions. One is display teachers and one is display students. If you notice, then you can see here def keyword I used in both the functions. So there are two user defined functions. One is printing all the teachers' name, and one place it is printing all the students' name. So I started writing the program from here till here. So this is a single program. So in this case, I gave the definition of the function. Here also I gave the definition of the function. Thereafter, I am just calling those functions. So if you check the comment, this line is the function header line. And all this 3 line is nothing but the function body. Fine. Here these 5 line are the function body, and this is the header line for the second function. And in this case, I am calling the function, so it is written here calling function. So display students, as I wrote from here till here, but the display students I am calling at first. So it means it will run this particular part at first. It means it will print all the students' name at first, then it will print the teacher's name. Suppose we will check like how the function is executing when we run it. At first, it will read this line when you run the program or when you compile the program. This line. Then second, it will come to here. This is second line. Then third line. Then after this third line, it will come back to here. This will be fourth line, fifth, sixth, 7, 8, 9. After that, it will come back to the previous place, like from where it came. Then from here, it will come to here. Then after this, going here, then this. Then again coming back here, and the function will get end here. One thing you remember here, that definition of the function. Definition of the function has to be written once. Means display teachers, how many times I wrote? I wrote once. Display students, I wrote once. But if I wish, I can write as much as number of time the call part of the function. From here it is getting called. Na? So here I can repeat, which I will show you practically. Just wait a little. Now let's continue with the next part of our video. The next part, here it is explaining one example with argument. This is the second example with argument. So in this case, I use two functions, two user defined function. One is in the name of sum and one is in the name of sub. Here sum function has two parameter and sub function has two parameter. Here it is calculating the result equal to x plus y and printing the result. Here it is finding result equal to x minus y and printing the subtraction result. Fine. So let's come to this side. Here a is getting the value is getting accepted by the user. In this case, b the value is getting accepted by the user, getting entered by the user. So the how it is written, a equal to int input enter first number. Here I forget to give a bracket. One more bracket has to be there. In this case also there has to be one more bracket. So one by one two number will be given to a and to b respectively. Then when I am calling sum ab, it means the value of a and value of b is getting passed to the sum function, and the value of a is getting stored in x, value of b is getting stored in y. Then it is taking the sum and printing it. After it print, it come back to here. Then sub ab, same way a value will pass here, b value will pass here. That is respectively it will pass, serially it will pass. Thereafter the subtraction is getting finded out and it is getting printed. So in this case also you can see function header with two parameters. So this is the header line of the function as we learned before with two parameters, and this is the call of the function. Fine, the call of the function where two arguments are given. So here we can say the values or the variables as argument, and in this case we can say it as a parameter. Let's go to the next question or next example. I have shown you here with argument and return, with argument and returns. So in this case I took two functions, one is largest and one is smallest, having two parameter xy. So here I am finding out the largest, a greater than b. Sorry, it has to be x greater than b. Then return x or return y. So in this case, definition smallest. So xy is written. So it has to be xy as well. So return x as well as return y. So when it is returning to whom? As I wrote here, using return keyword. So it is returning to whom? Returning to the place from where we brought it. We brought from here. The number is getting inputted here. Here also bracket is missing. So the number is getting stored in a and b. Thereafter result 1 and result 2. I took two variables to store the result for smallest and for largest. So largest a comma b. It means the a comma b, the value is coming to this place and getting calculated, and it is returning the answer, and the answer is getting stored in result 1. Same way, when we are doing result 2 equal to smallest ab is coming here and getting calculated, getting finded out who is smallest, the answer is getting returned and getting stored here. Thereafter it is printing the result as largest is and smallest is. Fine. So let's go to the practical to check how the numbers are getting printed. Here one more example I kept also, that is example with arguments and return more than one values. In Python we can we can return multiple values as well. So in this case I gave you one example of swapping the numbers. For swapping the number, I have taken here two variable a, b, and I am inputting the number, first number and second number, which I am keeping in a and b. Thereafter, here I am giving the statement before swapping the value, before swapping the b. What will be the value of a and b before swapping it? Thereafter, I specified here a comma b equal to swap of ab. So this a value is getting passed to x, b value is getting passed to y. Then the swap technique we applied here, that all of you know. Thereafter, what it does, now after it gets swapped, the value is returning here, return x comma y. It means the value of x will come back and y also will come back after it gets swapped. So x value will stored in a and y value will stored in the variable b. Thereafter, it is printing here the answers. Suppose for a value I gave 4 and b I gave 8. It will pass from here 4 and 8 to here. After it gets swapped, the value will return as 8 and 4. So 8 will stored in the variable a and 4 will get stored in the variable b. Fine. Here I have written storing two values which returns from the function definition. So this is function definition. From here when it return how many value? Two value, and two value respectively will get stored in the variable a and b. So now it's time to check practically. So let's go to the Python editor to check whatever we learn in practical way. So I open here the editor where I will do some program on function. All of you please concentrate. As in video we learn that the function will start with the keyword def, and I'm giving here one function that is print. So I'm making here print1 as the function name. Fine. And here I'm writing, because print is a keyword, so print I cannot write, so I made here print1. So print what it will print. I gave here, suppose my name I'm printing. Fine. So I prepared a function which is going to print my name, and I'm taking one more function also. Suppose it is printing my address. So in this case I'm writing. Fine. So I made two functions here. One is print1 and one is print2. Now I'm calling them. So print1 and I'm calling the second function, that is print2. Fine. Simply you need to write print1 and print2. So I'm calling them serially. So now let me save this program. I'm saving this program in the name of font py. So it is printing Rashmi, Ranjan Das and Bhuvneshwar. All of you can check. Fine. It is not necessary that I need to run it sequentially. I can run print2 first, then print1 as well. So check now the output. So it depends like which of the function you are writing when and which of the function you are repeating. I repeated here function number 2, that is print2, thrice. So check now. So it is totally depends on you. As I told, we can keep this part. This is call part of the function, means calling the function. We can repeatedly use, but this definition we cannot repeat. The same name we cannot repeat. We have to change the name. Okay. Now let's try the function with argument. So function with argument. In function with argument, suppose I am trying here two questions. One is with this two number and with these two number. So one is doing suppose sum and one is doing subtraction. That is our motto. So I wrote here x comma y, and what I need to do here, now result equal to, which I have shown you in video, x plus y. Fine. And here I want to print the answer, so I can write sum is comma result. So same thing I can just simply copy for subtraction, and I can made here, and argument I can specify here x comma y, and here I need to make minus, and here I can make subtraction result is. Okay, let's check. See, the sum is 10 and sum is 5. Why? Because I specified here 4 6, that is for sum, that is print1, so it is showing here 10, and the next one, that is 7 comma 2, that is for subtraction, which is showing here 5. We can go for multiple call also. As I told you, if the print1 I need again to call So I can specify some different value and I can call it again. We heard now one theory we heard in video, that the reusability, the function can be reused again and again. We can call it, once we define the function, we can call it as much as number of times. Fine. Hope all of you cleared about the function with argument. Fine. Now let's go with the return. So return, what we can do, in this case it does not want to print here, suppose it want to return the value. So I can specify here return result. So it means the result won't get print here, it will come back to the place from where it went. Fine. So the print one is went from here, so the answer will come back to here. So I can make here result 1 equal to, okay, so here I can make result 2 equal to, so this I am removing. So here I can do what, same way here I need to do result 1 as well as here I will do result 2. Fine. As both the result I want to return, so I can use return keyword and result 2. Clear? So in this case it will be result 1. Fine. So after the answer came back from the definition part. This is the definition part, from where when the answer will come back and will get stored here. So we need to print them. So we can simply press here, specify here result 1 as well as result 2. We can specify comment as well. The sum is, we can specify the comment here that the sum is, fine, and here we can specify the comment as sub is, means subtraction is. I am doing little roughly. Fine. So let's check. There won't be any difference between the answers. Answer will be as it is. Only thing, the concepts are different here. Previous case, the print statement I specified in the definition part, and in this case I specify in the call part. Fine. So here one more thing, let me say you, if this is the function, what will be the steps, how it is executing. When we are running, when we are choosing from here the run module or pressing F5 the shortcut key, first it will read this line. This is the first line. Thereafter immediately it will come to here. This is second line. Thereafter it will come to this line. This is third line. After third line, this line, it is print 1, so it will go to here again. So fourth, fifth, then coming back to here, 6, 7, fine. Then it will come back to here, 8, 9, 10. Then coming back to here, 11, 12 and 13. Here. So at first it will run the definition line, but it won't go inside. Only it will check the definition line, then it will go to next definition line. Whatever you wrote here, these are the body of the function. Until unless the function you execute, it won't get executed, it won't get run. So that's why only the definition line will be read at first, then it will come to the this part, means the calling part of the function. Hope all of you clear the concept. Now let's try with how the function can return multiple values. So in this case the swap we have seen in video previously. So let's try with the swap concept. So I'm using here swap function x comma y. So I'm using here what? Now z equal to x, x equal to y and y equal to z. This is how the swap function we can use. This is how the swap technique we can apply. So returning what? X comma y. It means two value I want to return. So what you want to swap? So here we can specify 4 and 6 we want to swap, suppose. So I can specify here two variable, that is a comma b, and I'm printing here what? After swap. After swap a comma b. Fine. And this one I'm removing from here and printing it here. Specifying here I'm writing before swap. Suppose we want to print two statements, one is after swap and one is before swap. It means it will show you what is the value of a and b before and what is the value of a and b after. So I'm specifying here a as 4, b as 6. Okay, clear? These are the two values which I'm printing before swapping, then asking for swap, going here sorry, here I have to change the name of the function, that is swap. So going there, it is swapping, then coming back, storing here and printing. Let's check the answer. So see, before swap the value is 4 and 6. So which is responsible? This one. And this line is printing 4 and 6. Thereafter, it is swapping, going to the swap function and altering the numbers and returning back. When it is returning back, X value is getting stored in A, Y value is getting stored in B. Fine. Then it is printing here after swap. So in this way, using or in Python, multiple values can be returned and can be stored in multiple variables, and as well we can print them. Hope all of you cleared the concept of function in Python. Thank you.